And
tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, live from our Sarasota club and our new high-tech screen. And I'm not used to having several different cameras on me, so I got to figure out. All right, this one has a red light. All right. Hey, welcome to me. I'm learning how to use my own equipment. Okay, guys and gals, it is Monday. Now, as I have said in the past, we are at a point right now where if you have listened to my advice, then you guys should actually have arranged your holdings in a certain way where you have your cryptos on your laptop. They are in cold storage. They are on, you have them, right? Now, if you have actually done what I've suggested is join the programs we have, which help you actually lend against your Bitcoin, invest those into the mining programs. Because what this creates is it actually creates the repetition of ownership and accumulation of more actual Bitcoin. Because your goal from here on out, and this is how I view it, this is how I see it, and I'm telling you guys, this is what works. Your goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin using the Bitcoin you have. Right? If you already own Bitcoin, we can help you leverage that safely and put it in mining facilities where the revenue, the Bitcoin that you mine, part of it pays off your loan. This is how, and I've said this in the past, this is how you get free Bitcoin. That's the name of the game, is because we have 6 years, guys, 6 years of amazing accumulation of the Bitcoin if you play your cards right. If you invest in companies and if you invest in one of our programs, whatever you invest in should pay you out in the Bitcoin. You do not want dollars. And I'll tell you why. Because as the price goes up, it's going to get harder to purchase any amount of freaking Bitcoin out there. Right? It's look at it like this. If you own the farm, you don't need to rely on the grocery store. You see what I'm saying? We can set you up where you are growing your own Bitcoin. And that's the name of the game. Because not only are you growing your own friggin' Bitcoin, you're doing it for free. You are getting free Bitcoin because you're leveraging a loan against the asset you already have. And the process of creating the actual Bitcoin pays off your loan, and you accumulate more actual Bitcoin. This is how you can leverage your actual Bitcoin and accumulate more actual Bitcoin. This is the play, right? This is the absolute play. And through our loan program, what you can do is actually get a loan from us, all right? We take that loan and we help you get Bitcoin. Then we leverage that Bitcoin and we roll that into our programs for the mining. Now, that means you have two loans, but the profits from the mining will actually pay off the two loans, and you wind up with the actual Bitcoin for free. You see what I'm saying? This is leverage lending. This is what Michael Saylor does. This is what everyone is doing. They're leveraging devaluing assets, except when you purchase, when we roll you in to our programs, the asset you're holding is the Bitcoin. So the appreciation of the Bitcoin, it's the only thing that you can actually buy right now that will appreciate in value at this level. Remember, the average is 47% return each year. That's the average. Now, for a fact, this is not my opinion, this is math. With the amount of accumulation and the amount of people that are plugging the Bitcoin into every institution, every corporation, every loan, house loans, with an actual kicker of the Bitcoin pays off the house in, what was it, like, if you have $100,000 loan, and I'm just using an example, right? If you have $100,000 loan or house that you actually want to purchase, well, here, let's switch over and I'll hit the whiteboard real quick. All right. Hey. Red Bull. Oh, okay. Let's say you have a $100,000 loan or house that you actually, and yes, hey there, what's going on? My good friend, Moss. I also have a touch screen. All right. So you have a $100,000 home that you actually want to purchase. All right. We actually give you the loan and we add on $10,000. All right. This is for your house. This is for your Bitcoin. All right. Now, that makes your loan $110,000. All right. This 10 right here. This 10 grand at approximately, let's say 40% appreciation every year. That's the average, right? Well, this allows you to actually pay off your house, right? That $100,000 house is actually paid off in 7 years instead of 30 years. Let that sink in. You actually, right? And let's say that on $100,000, your monthly payment would be about $600 a month. All right. And let's see, 6 times 7, 0, 0, what is that, 36? 42, thank you. All right, 42. So in 7 years, listen to this, folks. All right. This is, you will actually pay $4,200 for a $100,000 house. This is living on the Bitcoin standard. This is how I have reached where I am. This is how I have done what I have done. Because I invested at here. All right. Oh, I love this board. All right. So, and I've told you guys in the past, the original price I had paid was $600 per actual Bitcoin. Now, what is it at right now? It's like 118 or, all right, 114K. All right. I initially paid $600 for the majority of the actual Bitcoin I have purchased over the years. Now, let's say I actually found a house. I have 2 of them already. I don't need one, but let's say I did. And it was $100,000. All right. That means in reality, I only paid about $507. Nope, hang on a second. Let me erase this. I love this board. Right? I only paid about, oh, wait. Got it. I only paid about $550 for that house. That was or is $100,000. That's living on the Bitcoin standard. Now, mind you, I've actually been in this for, I guess, almost 9 years. Actually, longer than 9. A long time. All right. That is how you live on the Bitcoin standard is you realize what you are actually buying now in the future will make everything else cheaper in the future. So instead of the complete opposite of what we have now, which is all of the actual currency that you make right now, if you are making 20 something dollars an hour, let's say, all right, here, let's really go wild. Let's say you're actually making $100 an hour right now. In a year, that hour that you were paid $100, now you actually got paid $92. Because that's what it will purchase in a year. So unless you jump in with the rest of us and you live your life with a completely different point of view, you don't want to earn money, you want to earn the Bitcoin. That's the future. That's right. That's why about 3 weeks ago, there's a gas station called Sheets or Skeets or something like that. Right? They said at their gas station, mind you, this is a trucker station. This is where truck drivers get a lot of fuel. They said from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 7 o'clock at night, whatever you purchase at our place, we will give you 50% off. Why? Why would a company say, hey, anyone using this, anyone who purchases this, they get half off? Let me explain how companies work. Every company, every corporation, they live by the number 3. All right? Let me explain. 3. All right, here, hang on. Oh, I love this board. All right, 3. 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Cost of product that they have. That's 1/3 of the price you pay is what they paid for the product. Then 1/3 is operating cost. Right? This is labor, rent, electric, shit like that. All right. Then 1/3 is profit. All right. Now, 1/3 plus 1/3 is over half. That's approximately 60%, actually closer to about, I think, 62%. Oh, there we go. All right. So if they're offering 50% off, they are still actually making 12%. This here, they're not losing money. don't let them fool you with this actual number, because it looks like, well, how can they make any profit? How can they make any money? Plus, they have an allocation. They have a number. They actually know exactly how much of what they will probably receive in actual Bitcoin. Now, let me erase this. Now, I guarantee they are working on a 3-year plan. All right, 3-year plan. Now, remember, every year, the Bitcoin goes up approximately 40-ish%, and that's a low number, all right? So let's say they collect $100,000 worth of actual Bitcoin at the point of sale. That's what it's actually valued at the point of sale. So year one, and they hold that for 1 year. The next year, it's worth $140,000. All right, year one, year two, year three. Now, these are not going to be exact numbers because I don't have a fucking calculator and I'm not that good at math. All right, the next year, plus what this is only if they acquire $100,000 worth of actual Bitcoin 1 year. All right. Now, the following year, they will have made about 190,000 ish. All right. Year number 3, they're at 270. All right. So on that $100,000, they actually met, if they hold it for 3 years, their realized profit is $270,000 on just $100,000 of initial purchase. This is what everyone's going to be looking at and watching. All right. Now, I'm actually going to head right back down here. All right. Now I'm back. The reason I moved down here is I want my Red Bull. All right. Now, what I just explained there is literally what you should plan for. Their goal is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible and hold it in a reserve, because they grasp exactly what Steak and Shake grasps. It's why Steak and Shake is up 10% year over year, and everyone else is dropping like a fucking rock. Look at McDonald's. Look, they are absolutely losing their asses. Look at Taco Bell. Look at all these other places. And they didn't change their menu. It isn't like Steak and Shake switched over to tallow fries, and now they're friggin' making so much profit off of tallow fries, right? They didn't raise their price when they switched over to tallow. What it is year over year, and mind you, they've only been doing it for like 6 months, if that. With price appreciation of the Bitcoin they accumulated, they're able to remodel all of their stores. This is the future of every single company. Every single corporation, everything will eventually offer you a discount if you pay in Bitcoin. Now, what does that do? That adds a whole new psychology to the actual marketplace, because now you are switching from an environment where no one wants to hold the dollars into an environment where you better show me a damn good product if you want me to let go of my Bitcoin. Because you have to have a value add of whatever you are actually purchasing that's higher than your want to hodl your Bitcoin. That's why they'll offer you a discount. They want your Bitcoin. Well, as long as there's a US dollar, I suggest that you pay for the shit you don't really value that much in dollars, if you have them, all right? But living on this new way of life, it will make you frugal. It will make you frugal because whatever you purchase, it is going to have to improve your life more than hodling the Bitcoin will. And that is absolutely a game changer. That's why the dollar's losing value globally. Do you know what that means? People are selling their dollars. They don't want to hold their dollars. They're selling the dollars for something else. In our case, they're selling their dollars to get Bitcoin. Now, see, the reason we have fluctuation in price is because a lot of people are stupid. A lot of people are selling their friggin' Bitcoin so they can get dollars. That's the dumbest thing in the world, is to sell your friggin' Bitcoin to get some dollars that are printed out of thin air. Yeah, not smart. I may have said this last week, or I may have said this to a friend. It's like having a hot wife or girlfriend and then going to the bar and picking up a ugly chick. It makes no sense. You're holding the rarest asset in the world with the highest liquidity in the world. You know how rare that is? Right. If you have a piece of artwork that's worth $100 million, yes, it is holding your purchasing price great, but you can't sell it on Sunday evening at 9 o'clock like that. If you have an emergency, you can't sell your asset on an app like that. That's what makes this so incredible, is we now have a digital, which means easy to move, easy to transact, representation of value that is a limited supply. With the world's largest liquid market. So in an emergency, you can sell your Bitcoin without, in seconds. You're, for 100 years, people have held their value in houses, or yeah, I'll use houses. All right. Now my grandfather owned a shit fuck ton of houses. That's a lot. A shit fuck is a lot. Look it up in the dictionary. I think it's about 1,000. All right. It's all right. The very first house he bought here in America, I think he said it cost him $1,800 in 1940 something. $1,800. Did that house actually improve itself over the period of time that he owned it? No, because trust me, I know my grandfather. He probably changed the roof once. So no, the asset did not increase in value in real terms. It was the exact same house that he bought when we wound up actually selling it after he passed on. Pretty sure that house sold for, and this was in 2001. No, this was earlier. This was 1999, right? That house sold for, I think, $180,000 in 1999. That house right now easily worth probably $400 and something thousand. Was it a better house? No. What it was the currency had been so devalued. They had printed so much that you had to accumulate the shit they printed. You needed more of those little pieces of paper to purchase the house. See, that's what we're moving away from. Housing is going to be replaced as a store of value. It will have a usage value. That's what it will have. Your house will have a usage value. And remember, value is relative. If you have a house out in the middle of nowhere and someone wants a house right in the middle of the city, how much is your house worth to that person? Nothing. They don't want it. They don't want a house out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But if you have a house out in the middle of nowhere and you have a person who wants a house out in the middle of nowhere, that house has more usage value for that person. It's all relative, except for the dollar value, because that is fluid. They're printing more of them. And the Federal Reserve, the one thing I can tell you with certainty of all of this, the Federal Reserve is going to print more money. And let me explain that. Right? The Federal Reserve can never print enough money to equal the accurate amount of value in the world, because the US dollar is an exchange of value, right? Well, there's a lot of value created every day. You're at work, your work is a value add. Everyone's work is a value add to the GDP, right? Well, just because your job accumulates value, the Federal Reserve does not print up money equivalent to the value you just added. It isn't like they say, well, let's see. All right, well, let's see. That Bitcoin Ben guy accumulated in excess value compared with yesterday. He accumulated about $60,000 worth of excess value into the global GDP or even the American GDP. Hey, guys, let's print up an extra 60,000 $1 bills. No, that isn't how it works, because there is value. That's why we have an M2 and an M1 and an M3, because it's representation of value, right? The whole world has about what was it, like $1.1 quadrillion worth of value. There are not 1.1 quadrillion $1 bills, or the equivalent in tens and fives and 20s and hundreds. Why? What if everyone just rushes out and I want dollars? Now, that's not how the economy works. What they do, because the Federal Reserve is corrupt and the ultimate manipulator, they look at the numbers of the economy, and then they have a formulation for, okay, right now, current exchange value in the USA is about $90 trillion. And I'm just fucking throwing out numbers, right? All right, we need of usage currency. We need about 1/10 of that in usage currency. That is fractional reserve banking. That's why if they hold $100, they can lend out $1,000, because they think odds are low that 10% of the people who hold money in our bank will remove it in one day or over a few weeks. So their calculation is, well, we'll leverage the dollars against the creation of credit. And like I've said on many shows in the past, it's an illusion that the Federal Reserve has control of the currency. It's a complete illusion. The reason they exist is because their job is to handle the emotions of the markets. That's it. Right? Because what happens is if the Federal Reserve hints that they are going to lower interest rates. That's why they call it, well, the market expects an interest drop. And when they are looking at inflation, they aren't looking at numbers, they're looking at emotions of the market. Are there people expecting inflation? Because they know what I know. Whatever humans' expectations are is what happens. Because we create the market. We are the market. And our it's one of the reasons that the dollar's losing value, because we know they're printing it, so we expect it to lose value. So it does. And we know that the Bitcoin is a fixed supply. Common sense will tell you, in an appreciating asset with a fixed supply, with a certain level of demand, the number goes up. Well, the reason it goes up is we all expect it to go up. That's why we buy it. So our actions are the market. We are the market. The Federal Reserve artificially tries to manipulate the market using interest rates, artificially valuing their printed up dollars. How much is our dollars worth? It's worth about 3.7%. No, they're not. They're absolutely batshit worthless. Although I think, now that I think of action, let's see. All right, so we have a value of paper currency. Then we have a value of batshit. I think the batshit is more useful than our currency. Just saying. This is what more and more people are coming to realize. That the old system was created to fuck you. It isn't good intentions turned bad. No. The Federal Reserve was created to fuck you. Now, early in the Federal Reserve System, because they wanted to get their toe into it, they made it seem very harmless. No, don't worry about us. No. The economy is growing so quickly that we need an entity that is decentralized. That whole idea that the Federal Reserve was initially decentralized is absolute horseshit. Right? Because if you have one choice, one option, the US dollar, one option, except they print it at several different locations, that's not decentralization. That's mass infection. That's why, because I've heard people say, well, it was decentralized because they had the St. Louis Fed, they had the New York. No. It's so they could print the money in that area without having to ship it all over the fucking country. And they could manipulate their area. The Federal Reserve was never decentralized. That's absolute horseshit. And the only way that we correct this whole system is to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Now, the U.S. dollar will always exist. Always. But it will exist out of the Treasury Department, not the Federal Reserve. Because the Treasury Department, especially now in the environment where we have the Bitcoin, that regulates the Treasury Department. Because if you get stupid and you print up a bunch of money, the Bitcoin will reflect that. This is the great global equalizer, is the Bitcoin. Every currency is measured against the Bitcoin. That's why it has a price. When we're sitting there going, oh, it's $114,000, man, it dropped a little bit. That's stupid people who are trying to collect more dollars. They haven't realized what they own. Because think about it, guys. What is valuable? Is it the Bitcoin or is it the dollars? Because with the Bitcoin, you can go to Brazil and you can trade that for their currency. You can go to Indonesia and trade the Bitcoin for their currency. That shows me Bitcoin, because everyone wants it. How many people here want the Indonesian whatever the fuck it is? I don't. Why? Because I don't fucking live in Indonesia. What's more valuable? Something that you can sell or use in one place, or something you can sell or use all across the world? You guys want to hear something fucked up? There is an ATM in Antarctica where you can buy Bitcoin. I ain't bullshitting, Google it. In Antarctica. That ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking ice and snow. And no one really wants to live there. Well, I guess some people do. But which is more valuable? It's the Bitcoin. And this is going to continue. More and more corporations are moving into the Bitcoin because they realize everyone will accept it. And they realize, mark my words, it's coming, that the nations that have oil, they'll sell their oil at a discount for Bitcoin. Some of you may live in areas where you go to the gas station and you have a credit price and you have a cash price. Why are they different? Because of the incentives that are behind it. If you pay in credit, it actually costs the gas station money. If you pay in cash, they don't lose as much money. Well, here coming soon, and I actually do this already, I use my Fold card. So I'm getting paid some Bitcoin, pretty soon you'll be able to go to Quick Trip. Where's my sponsorship, you lazy fucks? Oh, and Red Bull. They'll offer you 10% off if you pay with Bitcoin. Guys, think about how easy this is going to be to adopt. They just put a QR code up there. That's it. In your options, pay inside with cash, pay inside with credit, pay outside with credit, pay outside with Bitcoin. You hit that, up pops their little QR code. Voila. Guys, where we are going to is absolutely going to reorganize the whole global economy. That's why I tell you guys, please give us a call, 941-413-6920. Because we can help get you a loan to buy Bitcoin. Roll that Bitcoin into a loan that you put into mining. And then the mining pays off each of the loans. And you wind up with the Bitcoin. It's free Bitcoin. If you own a home with home equity, we can set you up with a home loan against your equity to purchase some Bitcoin that you roll into mining, and then you get the free Bitcoin. We have set up a system at our clubs. That's why so many people are joining it, because we've set up a system that allows you to leverage assets to get more Bitcoin, leverage credit to get more Bitcoin. Go to your bank right now. Walk up to your banker and go, hey, I want to borrow $100,000 so I can buy some Bitcoin. They will giggle in your fucking face. But if you give us a call, 941-413-6920, guess what? We ain't going to giggle in your face. We are going to giggle with you as we get you some fucking Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana. Yeah, for those who haven't heard, now we can actually get you Solana and Ethereum, whatever you want to call it. Guys, this is the future of the world. Our clubs, now mind you, we're on year 2.5, almost coming up on 3. We've had this club here in Sarasota. We have actually been here for almost 3 years now. We were the first to offer all of this. Why? Because I can see what's coming and I can act quickly. Because all of these other fucking corporations and bullshit, they have to go through a board and they have to go talk to this person, that person. Fuck that. Here's our program. This is what we're launching. We get our partnerships lined up. voila, we're off to the races. We are growing at such a rate with our clubs and our hotels and our bank, and you guys don't even want to know what's going on in El Salvador with us. That's a whole nother level. And why are we doing this? Gee, Ben, why'd you open up a club in Sarasota 2.5 years ago? Remember, 2.5 years ago, we were in a down market. We were in a bear market 2.5 years ago. Why would I open a club in a bear market when all these other crypto corporations, everything's failing, everyone's like, Bitcoin's a scam, look at all these companies failing, they're getting screwed. Why would I open clubs in a bear market? Because that's when you build. That's when you prepare. Is when no one else is preparing. You prepare. That's the key to everything. Look ahead, use some common sense, and realize what human nature is. And then plan accordingly. Human nature itself is going to push the price of the Bitcoin up. Human nature itself will push the price of Ether up. Human nature will push the price of Sol up. And a lot of other cryptos. Why? Because they're a network. They are a community of people. And we are moving into an area of technological advancement that people can't even wrap their heads around. I watched shows this weekend of robots that are rolling out this year. You'll be able to literally, now you have to be on a waiting list because there's a shit ton of people who want robots. But this year, there will be robots rolling out to houses, to restaurants, to warehouses, or clubs. Hell, I'm on a waiting list for Elon. Get your ass moving, motherfucker. I want my robot. And yes, I'm going to name him Asshole. My robot's name is going to be Asshole. So I can literally yell, hey, asshole, bring me a coffee. People don't realize over the next 3 years, right? This is Elon Musk's words, not mine. By the year 2030, we will have 1 billion humanoid robots in the West, in the Western world. 1 billion. You know how many humans are in the Western world? Mind you, Western world. 2.1. It might be 2.3, but I think it's 2.1. I'll go with the high number, 2.3 billion people in the Western world. In the next 5 years, we'll have 1 billion humanoid robots in the Western world. That doesn't even include China or Asia or that whole area. How many you think China is going to have? I bet you it's more than 1 billion. Now, of course, they will be shorter because, they're Chinese and probably have small, but that's besides the whole point. The world's changing, and how you exchange value is changing. Trust me, there's not going to be a robot out there. You will never hand a $5 bill to a robot and go, yeah, keep the change there, asshole. No. Nope. Everything's going digital. Everything. And we got about 25 years of adaptation to the new world. That's what my clubs are all. I watched this show this weekend, and all they kept saying was, what about the average guys and gals? How are they going to learn about this? They aren't online all the time. They may hop online looking at their phone, but they're looking at fucking Facebook and Insta, whatever the fuck it is. But they aren't prepared for what's coming. Right? I know several people, Patrick, I'm talking to you, who just relatively recently gave up a fucking flip phone. There are so many average people who are not aware of we are, because it's our life. This is what we do. Let this number sink in. 1% of the world owns Bitcoin. 1% of the world. And it is the perfect money. And as more, and we see it every day on Wall Street. You know who's really getting in on this? Wall Street, rich people. Why? Because they have money, they know money, they live in money, they swim in money. That's their whole life, is money. And they're realizing, I got a whole lot of dollars. That ain't worth shit. We need some Bitcoin. That's why Harvard, you guys know how I feel about universities. I hate them. But they ain't stupid. Harvard is buying Bitcoin. Why? Why is Harvard buying Bitcoin and going to allocate more in the future per quarter, they said? Because they realize the dollars are shit. And they realize, well, if I put my money into the stock market, the stock market is flat for the last 40 years since we took the dollar off of gold. It's been flat in real purchasing power. So you haven't gained jack fuck in real purchasing power. And more people are realizing this. I hope you have realized it too. All right, guys and gals, I have no, oh shit. All right, I'm an hour 0.5 into it. Could you actually pop that back up for me? All right. Yep. All right, guys, give us a call, 941-413-6920. We can set you up with a loan. We can get you Bitcoin. We can set it up where you get free Bitcoin. I don't know any other sales pitch that's offering that. You want some free Bitcoin? We can set you up in our system to get you some free Bitcoin. Because it's the Michael Saylor play. It's what everyone who knows money, knows leverage, knows mining, knows. Why do you think the Trump family just invested a fuck ton of money into mining? Because you think they're stupid? No. They know what's coming. The future is investing in companies that pay you out in Bitcoin. Do you think that the Trumps, with the mining company they just invested in and launched, do you think they're going to say, oh yeah, could you pay us in dollars? No. Like I've said in the past, there's a reason that the Treasury Department doesn't have an emergency or a reserve. What's the word that they use for an emergency reserve or I can't remember. But there's a reason that the Treasury Department doesn't have a U.S. dollar emergency reserve, because they have a printer. It isn't an emergency if you can just print it. Oh my God, we have an emergency. It's 2007, 2008. Oh my God, we got to print up a bunch of money. It's an emergency. Okay, you're good. There's all the cash. Have fun, guys. Oh, thank God we solved it in one day. How the fuck could they solve it in one day if they just didn't print more money? They couldn't have. They couldn't have. The reason that the great financial emergency happened, or whatever the fuck they call it, is because the system that is actually based on dollars fell the fuck apart. And how did they fix it? Let's print some more dollars. That'll fix this dollar system. They're trying to put out a fire by throwing more wood on it. Because the source of the fire is the wood. It's the fuel of the fire. I've heard a lot of people say, well, they throw gasoline on it. No. That would be throwing another asset. Because the problem is the paper is on fire. The wood's on fire. And they're trying to put it out by throwing more little pieces of paper, more little pieces of wood on the fire. And when you look at it that way, you realize, wow, the fire's just going to get bigger. Yeah. Welcome to 2025, guys. The fire is so fucking big, they can't print up enough money to put the fire out, because the money can never put the fire out. It's only to increase the flames. And guess who's on a rotisserie just above the fire? You, me, They're cooking us with the fiat fire. But yet, we're not supposed to look at it like that. They're not cooking you. They're trying to warm you up just really fast. It's all bullshit, guys. This whole system is bullshit. And now more and more people are waking up to it because they see all the bullshit around the world. Everyone's printing up money. The US, the UK, everyone. Everyone's printing up euros and dollars and yens and wands and whatever the fuck else you want to print up. Why? Because they know what their system is. It's the Keynesian economic system. It wasn't a mistake. They didn't accidentally implement this system that all of a sudden went to shit. They put the shitty system in to drain the economic power from the people using the currency. Initially, it was just us here in America. They're like, well, we will drain America of all of its citizens' value. Well, we've drained all their value. Hey, let's make this a world global reserve currency. Yeah, let's go fuck everyone else. That's what they did. Once they got control of our system here in America, wasn't good enough for them. Let's go fuck everyone else out in the world. Well, that's changing now because we have a weapon to unfuck ourselves. And we're taking it. And we're running with it. I highly recommend, and I promise you, in 5 years, you will be sending me a Christmas card. Hell, in 1 year, you'll be sending me a Christmas card. Let us help you get out of the old system and into the new system before the old system just goes away. Because this is how it goes away. You have a gas station offer half off if you keep your shit money and you pay with good money. Look at it like that. They don't want your fucking dollars. They're basically telling the dollar to fuck the fuck off. They're just saying, hey, come on, man. You got a little bit of that Bitcoin? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'll give you some gas for that Bitcoin. I'll give you some Red Bull. Let you do some grocery shopping in here, man. Just give me that Bitcoin. No, keep them fucking dollars. Fuck those things. I'll give you half off if you. Yeah, give us the good stuff. Give us the Bitcoin. That's a gas station in America telling the dollar, you suck. It's your turn. Tell the Federal Reserve and tell the global elite to have a hot cup of fuck off and get you some Bitcoin. And while you're exiting, right, because what is the U.S. dollar? What is the U.S. reserve currency whole thing? It's the fucking Titanic. And what I'm saying is on your way off of the Titanic, grab some silverware. Grab some plates. Fuck it, if you can, grab a chair. They had nice ones on the Titanic. You actually take what you can from the old system and bring it on to the new system. Bring it on to the lifeboat. Take something with you from the old system that has value and bring it in. And that, what is that? That's your house. Your house is, as of right now, in the old system. leverage that house and take that value into the new system. Because the old system is being flooded with inflation. That's the Titanic. It's going down, folks, and their idea is add more water. The ship's going down, and the captain is, hey, can we get some more water on this ship? It ain't quite fucking wet enough yet. Well, we're drowning all of the people in the lower level. Fuck them. We're the people on the lower level. The wealthy up there on the top level, they're getting onto the lifeboat because they're blocking the message to the people in the lower levels. Now, the people on the lower levels, they know they're fucked because they see the water rising. They feel the inflation first. So they know the truth, but they don't know how to get up to the lifeboats. And God's honest truth, there's a lot of motherfuckers from the top floor blocking the doors of the lower floors. Pocahontas, I'm talking to you, you cunt. And yes, I meant to use the word cunt because it is the most offensive word to women. These people are evil. They want you enslaved. They want you broke. They want you chasing a dollar that is losing value. Fuck them. Hop off. Give us a call and we'll help you take some silverware with you off the Titanic. Give us a call, 941-413-6920. I have been going for an hour and 20 minutes, and to tell you the truth, I could go longer because this pisses me off. It pisses me off that we've suffered through it. My grandfather suffered through it. My dad suffered through it. Your grandparents suffered through it. Your parents suffered through it. You're suffering through it. Your children are suffering through it. Why? If all of us are suffering, who's benefiting? The elites, the banks, the global banking system. That's who's robbed you. That's who's robbed your grandfather. That's who robbed your dad. That's who's robbing you, and that's who's going to rob your children unless you tell the global banking system to go have a hot cup of rot in fucking hell. You choose. Because as soon as you choose to leave the old system, they lose power. The old system is Nightmare on Elm Street. The only reason they have power is you fear them. No. Fuck you and fuck your fear. Because we now have another system that they don't control. Neither do I. Neither does Michael Saylor. No one controls it, but we can all participate in it of free will. Join the new system and get the fuck off the Titanic and grab some silverware on the way out. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day. 941-413-6920. We can help you get a loan. We can help you mine. We can help you buy Bitcoin, Ether, Solana. I'll add more later. Probably not until we launch our app, but that's a whole different conversation. Everyone have a great day and smile. You're in the lifeboat. If you're watching this, I hope you're in the lifeboat. And it's a hell of a nice boat. Love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at the same time. Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.